Okay. All right. So let's start off first. Again, we'll start off with this workout. We're going to warm up standing, and then we're going to go to the floor, and then we'll stand. And actually, our last exercise will be seated in the chair. So let me put somebody in here. Okay, so start off first. Just stand up nice and tall, arms down by the sides. We're going to take a big deep breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, lower the arms down. And do that again. Inhale up, exhale down. All right, one more time. Exhale, lower the arms down. All right, so we're going to take the hands in front and we're going to do a push and pull to warm up. So our first three exercises we're going to do, again, first three are going to be on the floor. So you'll want your mat and your weights. And we're going to work on some upper body strengthening on the floor. And then our last three exercises will be standing, where we'll work on the core and some leg exercises. So just kind of flipping things around a little. All right, bring the arms back here, and then we're going to take the arms out to the side, turn the palms up, and then tap the shoulders and extend the arms. So just a nice big lengthening here through the arms before we move along here. Okay, and then lower the arms all the way down. Let's step the feet about hip, a little wider than hip width apart. And then we're going to start with that weight shift first. So just a nice, easy shift side to side. You can keep the arms moving, just kind of swing them side to side here. All right, and then go ahead and come back to center. We're going to step the feet a little bit closer together. We're going to do some marches. So if you do need to hold on to something, grab your chair, stand close to the wall. So we're just going to kind of slowly lift the right knee, lift the left knee. And we're going to do about 6 of these to start. All right, and then set both feet on the floor, and then we're going to do a little step out, right, center, left, and center. So kind of taking that first weight shift into a little bit more of a step. Okay, good. And let's do one more on each leg. Bring it back to center, stand up nice and tall. Take a big deep breath in, reach the arms up, and exhale, lower the arms down. Okay, so we're going to start on the mat. So go ahead, take your time, grab your mat, make sure your weights are close by because we are going to use those. Make sure you have something for underneath your neck or your head if you need to. If you need that. And I'm going to move the chair up just a little here. And we are going to start on our back. We'll be on our back for all three exercises. And I have a feeling my dog is going to think it's time to play. So, all right. So again, just keep those weights close by. You can keep them on one side or put one on the other because we're going to be starting with the set of weights. We're going to work into the chest. Okay, so let's start off on our back. And let me adjust my this little bit. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and grab your weights, and you can just again kind of keep them close by or right by the side there. You can't do that right now, buddy. Come on. Sorry. Okay, there. Sorry. we'll play later. All right, so make sure you engage your abdominals. So pull the belly button in towards the spine and really flatten your back down onto the floor. All right, very good move, bud. So we're gonna take those hands out to the sides. Elbows are down on the floor, kind of upper arms are on the floor. So you're in kind of that goalpost position with the hands, palms facing down away from you. And then we are going to press the arms up and then the elbows lower back down towards the floor. So straight up and then elbows out, lower back down just for a second, and then just repeat that. And we are going to do 10 of these. Now keep those abdominals engaged. Keep your wrists nice and straight. And again, you're just going to kind of almost just kind of touch the back of the arms to the floor and then press it right back up. And don't worry about touching the weights when you raise them up. You don't have to like click the weights together. Exhale as you press up. Inhale as you lower. I think we have one more for 10. Good. And then just kind of set the weights down next to you. And then we'll just kind of open the arms out here and do a little bit of a stretch. So as you do these, again, try to make sure you're kind of keeping that low back pressed into the floor. This is where you could do maybe that little bit of a pelvic tilt. So you're kind of tilting the pelvis up and pressing the low back into the floor, and that'll give you that engagement. Okay, so we'll give the arms a little shake out, and then we're going to go to set 2. I think Bear is just going to sleep. Arms out to the sides again. And again, palms are facing down towards the legs. Press the low back into the floor. All right, so again, in that goalpost position, we're going to press the arms straight up and then open the arms out, elbows back down, back of the arms touch the floor. Bring it up. And again, since all of these exercises we're going to be doing today are new for this workout, we're only going to these 6. Your weights are kind of right above your chest. 8. 9. And good. All right, so just kind of set the weights down and then open the arms out again. Just stretch out the hands. Take a big deep breath in and exhale. All right, now we're gonna go to our next exercise. So that one we worked our chest. So that's a chest press where we're working the muscles into the chest, also into the tricep. Anytime you're doing a pushing movement. Okay, so the next one we're gonna do, we're gonna move on to kind of more of the back muscle. So I want you to grab just one of your weights and you can hold it kind of end to end here. If you can hold it in the middle, you can't, you're welcome to do that. I think it's a little easier for this one to hold it on each end. And then what I want you to do, again, press the low back into the floor. Back spine is pressed down to the floor. And then you're going to keep your arms fairly straight. You can bend the elbows just a little. And then you're going to lower the arms, kind of like you're raising your arms above your head if you were standing. And you're going to lower it down towards the floor. You do not have to touch the floor. And then you're going to slowly pull the weight all the way over the top of your body down towards the hips. And again, you're not touching the floor or the hips with this one. So slowly raise it above the head and then slowly pull it over. So we're kind of working into the lats, so the muscles in the back. So 3, and make sure these are slow. Again, you have pretty straight arms, but you are keeping just a slight bend. Inhale as you raise the weight above the head, and then exhale as you pull the weight over top of the body. So kind of imagine you're drawing like a big arch with that weight and with your hand. So there's 8. And 9. And one more. Nice and slow. Pull it all the way over. Okay, very good. All right, so set your weight down. So to stretch, we're going to take the hands, kind of one hand on top of the other. We're just going to do that press. This would be like if we're standing, we've done this where we're just pressing the arms forward, kind of rounding the shoulders forward and opening across shoulder blade. Hold it there. You can lace fingers together too. That's okay on your wrist. Take another big deep breath in and exhale. All right. Maybe give the arms a little shake out. I'm going to switch around because he's laying right by my head and snoring. And probably, you guys can probably hear that. So he's trying to snuggle my shoulder here. So, okay. I'll move instead of making him move. All right. So let's take the weight again. Again, weight. You can start off with it kind of right above the chest, holding it end to end. And then let's slowly lower the weight again, slight bend in the elbows, lowering it towards the floor above your head, and then slowly pull it over down towards the hips, and then back up again. Inhale as you raise the arms up. Exhale as you pull the arms over. Again, like a big arch, big rainbow going from the floor right above the hip. And again, really on this one, it does help to kind of get your breath involved. So you're inhaling as you lower up towards above your head, and then exhaling as you pull the weight over the body. So 6. 7, and you want to keep it slow and controlled. 8. Inhale and exhale for 9. And then last one. Okay, good. All right, so set that weight on the floor, and then we'll do that same back stretch. So pressing the palms towards the ceiling, straightening through the arms, rounding the shoulders forward just a little bit, opening across the shoulder blades. Inhale and exhale. All right. And then kind of give the arms and the hands a little shake out here. All right. So we're going to do our third and last exercise for the floor or on the floor. So again, we're going to grab just one weight. Now this time we're going to be working a little bit more into the triceps. So it might seem like it's similar to the first exercise, but because of the position of the hand, it's working into the triceps or the back of the arms a little more. So what you want to do on this one is you're going to take that weight, kind of same thing end to end. And then this time we're going to start with the weight above the chest, just like we did for that last exercise. But we are going to bend the elbows and kind of bring the elbows down along the rib cage. Your arms are kind of in a 90-degree position. And then you're going to press it back up. So this is a more of a, like what they might call a close grip press up or chest press. And so keeping those arms, the upper arms kind of right down along the side, that is going to work more into the back of the arm. Now I'm going to show you an option here. So if you feel like you're not getting the arms, down like where they need to be, you can also grab both weights, keep the arms down by the side, and you're going to do the same thing. So again, this is a little closer grip. This time your palms are facing each other, but it kind of gives you a little bit more space to work along the body. But again, you just really want to kind of hug those arms in close to the sides. I think we're probably past 10 here, so we'll finish up and then cut the weights down or the weight. And then from here, let's do a little tricep stretch. So if you can, I'm going to give you a couple options. You're either going to reach the arm up above the head and then kind of bring the elbow, bend the elbow and bring the hand on like towards the right, or sorry, left ear. So your upper arm is next to the right ear. Your fingers are down towards the left ear. So you're kind of in that almost an arch above the head. And then take your left hand, kind of pull the arm in a little bit. Now, if that does not work for your shoulder, we're going to do that chest stretch. So kind of like we did last time. So you're bending the elbow is pointing up towards the ceiling, and you're just pulling that arm across. So it's basically that same stretch here. So either here or this is what you're doing above the head on the floor. All right. And then we'll switch to the other side. So again, whichever one works for you. It's hard to get that, for some people to get that shoulder up or get the arm up above the head. A little too much on the shoulder. So you can do this stretch. Take a deep breath in and exhale again. Okay, good. Give the arms a little shake out. So again, what we're doing basically for this one. So the first exercise we did was the chest press. So we're working more into the chest. The palms were towards the legs. The elbows were straight out from the shoulders. This time we're bringing the elbows right up by the body and the palms are facing each other. So that's kind of how changing the position is going to work the muscle a little bit different. So that's going to focus a little more into the tricep. Still getting some chest work, but focusing primarily on the triceps. So again, you can hold that one weight here Again, if that doesn't give you a lot of space to work on either side of your body, you can grab both weights and just kind of put the back of the arms onto the floor. Make sure you're pressing that low back still on the floor. We want to do that with all these floor exercises. And then we're going to press again straight up. Keep those arms right along the side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep going here. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. All right. Set your weight down. Give the hands a little shake out. And then we are going to that tricep stretch again. So whichever way works better for you. Pulling that arm across the body, either across the chest or right above the head. Inhale and exhale. Got it. And then go ahead and switch it over, excuse me, to the other side. Oh. All right. Yeah. Okay. Give the hands a little shake out. All right. So those are our 3 floor exercises. So we're going to come up to standing next. And do a couple of leg exercises, and then we're actually going to sit in the chair. So take your time getting up. Again, make sure you're coming up slowly, especially if you get a little lightheaded or dizzy. Changing positions, take as much time as you need. You can just set the weights off to the side. We're not going to use those for the leg exercises. And then you can roll your mat out of the way if you'd like, or you can move it down, doesn't matter. And just make sure, again, I always remind everybody as you're going up and down off the floor, if you need a chair to hold on to, or, holding on to the wall, anything like that, make sure you're kind of doing what you need to get yourself up safe. Okay. All right. So we're going to do, again, our next 2 exercises are going to be standing. Now we are going to be doing a little bit of balance with these. So if you do need a little, something to hold on to, you can stand close to the wall or just kind of keep your chair close by, either one. Okay, so we're going to do some knee lifts next. What I want you to make sure you're doing here, let's kind of start from the feet. Set the feet about hip width apart. Make sure that the hips are kind of lined up right over the feet. Stand up nice and tall, lift through the chest, look straight ahead so the ears are right over the shoulders. And then we want to pull the belly button back towards the spine to kind of engage those core muscles. Now, you can squeeze a little bit into the glutes here, and we're going to be standing on working the right leg. We're going to be standing on the left knee. Make sure you keep a slight bend in that left knee so you're not locking that knee. We're going to shift over into that left leg, and then standing up again nice and tall. We're going to lift that right knee up, and then just a little touch to the floor, and then back up. Okay, so I'm going to turn a little to the side here. So you are right here with the knee. Bottom of the foot is flat towards the to the floor. And again, kind of think of doing this nice and slow, lifting that knee. You can come up to here, you can come up kind of parallel from the hip. You don't need to come up any higher. Keep those abdominals engaged. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. All right, so from here, let's just kind of give that leg a little swing forward and back. And then just kind of shift the legs, kind of shift from side to side. Again, make sure if you need a little break, if you're, because we are standing on one leg. So if you do need to set the working foot down and kind of give that standing leg a little shake out, feel free to do that. All right, we'll switch over to the left leg. So again, engage through those abdominals. Up is lifted, look straight ahead. And then we're going to shift and lift the left knee up this time. And again, kind of keep the bottom of that foot towards the floor. So instead of pointing the toes, you want to keep the foot flexed a little bit. 4, 5, kind of engage into the glutes on the right side. That helps a little bit of stability. We've got 2 more here. And last one. Okay, good. All right, so swing that leg a little bit just to kind of give a little shake out. And put the foot down, kind of shift from side to side. Okay. So one thing on these, and actually the first 2 exercises, because we are going to be working into the hips. So if you do have any, if your osteoporosis is in your hips or in your low back, just make sure that you're taking that at the where you're able to as far as range of motion. So again, instead of lifting this high, if you need to lift this high, just modify it for what you need to do. Okay, so again, engage here, shoulders down. We'll go back to that right knee. And then again, this and down. And remember, don't shift too far. So you don't want to do that, like shifting your hip out. You want to stand as tall and lifted as you can. So you are standing on that left leg, but you just don't want to put all your weight over into that leg. Okay. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. All right, give the legs a little shake here. And then we'll kind of just swing that right leg a little to loosen it up and get a little more movement in there. And then switch it over. We'll do that on the left knee for the last set here. So again, engage. Take a deep breath in and then exhale, lift the knee. And remember, we're just kind of tapping the foot down and then coming right back up. So you're not completely resting that foot down on the floor. 4, 5, 6. Make sure you're engaging the glutes on this side. 1 more. All right, very good. Give the legs a little shake out, and then we'll give that left leg a little swing here. Okay. All right, so we're staying in this position for the next one. Now we're going to be doing some side leg raises. So again, keep your chair here. If you need a little bit more balance, you can always come right behind the chair. Keep both hands on the chair. Um, and we are kind of doing, again, we're going to be standing a little on one leg for the exercise. So make sure you shake the legs out if you need to. All right, so I'll make sure and I'll show you first to make sure you're getting the right form on this, and then we'll do the 10 together. Same thing, keep the chest lifted, engage into the abdominals, kind of squeeze into the glutes here. Now, when you're doing that side leg raise, you want to keep that foot forward as much as you can. When you do that, you may not lift the leg very high. If you turn the toes, you're going to do more of a kick. You're going to be able to lift it higher, but those aren't the muscles we're trying to work. We're focusing right here into the hip and the outer thigh, kind of outside of the knee. So you really want to keep the feet or the working foot, both feet, but keep that working foot forward. So you're lifting with the outside of the leg and then lower it back down. Don't touch it to the floor. You're just kind of bringing it right back to the other foot. And again, stay nice and tall. So we're not leaning with it to the other side. That left knee is staying nice and bent, slightly bent and nice and soft. And again, think of lifting from the side of the leg and the outside of the ankle. So abs engaged. Okay, good. All right, give the legs a shake out. Do that on both sides. Okay, and then switch it over. Now, for me, for this exercise, I can really tell a difference. This hip is usually a lot tighter for me, so I'm not going out as much as I might be able to on this one. That's probably pretty normal for most people, I would say. But again, make sure that you're keeping the hips forward. You're raising that leg out to the side, lifting from the side, outside of the ankle, and then back down. And again, make sure you're not leaning this one on, leaning towards the right. And you're a little bit to the right because your weight is in that right leg, but you shouldn't be leaning as you lift. We're just focusing right here with the lift from the hip. Nice and slow. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So give the legs a little shake out. And you can really feel the difference if you're doing that one correctly. So if you're doing that one correctly and keeping the foot forward, you're really going to feel that on the outside of the leg and into that hip. If you're turning the foot, you're going to lift it higher, but again, you're going to feel it more here in the front of the leg. So we want to make sure that this is where we want to feel it in the outside of the leg and into the outside of the hip, the side of the hip. All right, so shake the legs out. We will do that one a second time on each side. So we'll go back to that right leg. Again, a little shift into that left leg. Bend that left knee slightly. Engage into the abs. Hips stay facing forward. Lift that right leg out. And if you need to, just kind of look down, make sure that foot is facing straight ahead and you're lifting with the outside of the foot. 5, 6, 7, 8, Okay, good. All right, give the legs a shake out. And again, the common um, error on this one is that when you're lifting to the side, some people will try to lift as high as you can, but when you do that, you're getting a lot of other muscles involved. So I've seen like this. Well, you're really not working those muscles in the legs at all. You're just kind of doing, you're getting the whole body involved, which we don't want to do. We want to isolate right here into the hip. So again, bend into that standing knee, the right knee, and it out. So sweeping out from the side of the foot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, very good. Give the legs will shake out. Okay, so as you can tell, we're not doing a lot of stretches here, so we're going to do the stretches at the end. But for the next exercise, we're going to the chair. And we have done this exercise a lot in the past. So we're going to do a seated, kind of a modified abdominal crunch. So when you do these, again, because we don't want to do crunches on the floor, because that puts our spine in a forward flexion. If you do have osteoporosis, that's good for your spine. This will still work into the core muscles and into the abdominals and the low back, but it's not going to put any strain on the spine. So I'm going to start facing this way first. All right, so what you want to do, scoot up a little bit towards the front edge of your chair. Make sure your knees are right above your feet. You can slide the feet back a little bit, but make sure the feet are flat on the floor. All right, so from here, we're sitting up tall. We're going to engage the abdominals into the core, pulling the belly button towards the spine. And then you're going to slowly lean back. So you're kind of leaning back against that chair with your shoulder. Now take the hands across the chest if you'd like, and then keeping those abs engaged, we're using those core muscles to pull yourself straight up. And then again, slowly lower back down. Now again, the breath helps you on this one. So exhale as you sit straight up. Inhale as you lean back to that chair. And we don't want to go forward. So we're not doing this. We're just kind of going to upright and then back. Make it nice and slow. If you feel like you don't have a lot of control, or you feel like you get here and you kind of fall back to the chair, that's just some strength, that needs to be developed. So just take your time and do the best you can. I think this is 7. I lost count, but we're going to 10. Okay. And keep those feet pressed down into the floor. 9. Okay. Now, one thing on this one, if you notice that your feet are coming up a lot and you're kind of, what you're doing is again, it's about the strength in your core. And so you're kind of lifting those feet up to get yourself moving. Try to really press the feet down into the floor. Depending on the chair you have, some people will put their feet behind the chair just to kind of hold their feet down. If that's comfortable for you, you can do that. Sometimes with certain chairs, that's not quite workable, but really, again, try to keep those feet down. And again, the more strength you get, the less you'll be getting that momentum with the legs going back. All right, so we're gonna start back. Our second set, hands across the chest, engage through the abs. Remember, your back is staying, all these muscles are staying engaged. Exhale and lift straight up. Inhale, slowly lean back. And one thing I will point out on this exercise, it's easy to kind of pull your head forward and kind of jut your chin forward as you come up. Try to keep your chin tucked straight back. So kind of think about pressing the back of your neck, or pressing your spine, the back of your neck towards the chair, or think about doing a double chin so you're not dropping the chin down, going straight back. Sometimes if you start kind of jutting that chin forward, getting a little bit too much movement in the neck, you're going to feel this a lot in the neck. Okay. 8, 9, okay, good. All right. So one more thing with that exercise, you might think like if doing this, if you were doing a crunch on the floor, you take the hands behind the head. You can do that as long as you can keep your head pressed into your hand, and then you can sit up this way. The tendency for that one is to start to press your head forward. So you're pushing into the back of your head, pushing your neck forward. You don't want to do that. So if you can keep the neck relaxed and sit straight up, you can try it that way. Another thing, this sounds kind of funny, but if you feel like you tense up your neck a lot with that one, um, take your tongue and kind of put it at the roof of your mouth. Sounds weird, I know, but it relaxes your jaw a little bit, and that will keep some tension off your neck. So just a little tip there on that one. All right. So that's our workout. So we have the 6 exercises, 3 on the floor, 2 actually standing, and then 1 seated. We're going to do some stretches right here in the chair. So you get to stay seated on this one. So we are going to start first. We're going to give those legs a good stretch that we worked. So let's take the right leg out. Seated hamstring stretch. So we've been doing this one standing. Right leg is out, heel down, can pull the toes back towards you. Left knee stays bent. We're hinging at the top of the legs, at the hips. So again, think of keeping your spine nice and straight as you come forward. Back to the front here. And just come forward until you feel a stretch in the back of that right leg. Again, pulling your toes back towards you will increase that stretch a little bit. And let's just hold this. We're going to take a couple of breaths in and out here. One more time, inhale and exhale. All right, good. Switch it over to the other side. So heel down, toes up, sit up tall. And again, same thing, hinging, so your spine stays straight. Moving forward until you feel the stretch in the back of the left leg. Pull the top of the foot towards you, or the front of the foot. Inhale and exhale. All right, and then go ahead and sit back up, and then we're going to stretch into that hip a little bit. So show you 2 ways to do that. If you can bring that ankle up on top of the opposite leg, letting that hip open out to the side. This may be really intense. if you can hold this and just try to sit up tall, or you can hinge forward a little bit. If you can't get that leg up, you can cross at the ankle. Here, you're going to want to kind of push into that inner thigh just a little bit to open that right leg out to the side. So whichever one you can do. And you do not need to get that knee, that leg flat. If you can do that, you're very flexible, and I'm jealous of that because I can't do that. So just kind of hold it open and stretch into that right leg, into that right hip, and right hip, outer thigh, low back. All right, and then uncross that leg. We'll do that on the other side. So again, crossing the ankle. You can let that arm, that forearm kind of rest inside of the leg, kind of letting it try to open a little bit. Again, depending on how tight your hips are. Get very open with that. That's okay. You should still feel the stretch. Okay, good. And then set both feet on the floor, kind of give them a little shake from side to side. And then let's sit up nice and tall. We're going to take both arms out in front. Now, you can either open the arms back, lifting the chest through and hold it here, or you can reach back for the back of your chair, hold on to the back of your chair and lift through the chest. So we're just trying to open here through the chest. Big deep breath in, exhale out. One more inhale and exhale. And then let's take the hands on top of the knees. We're going to do kind of a little cat stretch. So drop the chin towards the chest, round the shoulders forward. You're not bending over, you're just kind of rounding into the, rounding the shoulders forward. Hold it here. And then slowly roll back up. And then we're going to do that tricep stretch one more time. So again, you can either do it this way, if that works for your shoulder. If that your shoulder doesn't like that, you can take the arm across and keep the elbow pointing forward. Hold it, take a big deep breath in, exhale, and then drop the arms down. We'll switch it. I'm going to take this one across because this shoulder doesn't like it. So hold it here. And exhale. Drop that arm down. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Drop your shoulders down away from the ears. And then let's just take a big deep breath in here. Stretch the hands out nice and wide. And then kind of shake them out as you lower the arms down. All right. Well, good job, everyone. Let me stop recording here.